Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again to another helping of Mr. H's Hot Pot. You join me today out and about in the old jalopy, where I'm currently pulled up on some random car park somewhere. The place doesn't really matter because what I've come to do for you today is something that I haven't done for about 2 years now. As some of you will recall, I used to do a little series of videos on this very channel called Letters from TV Licensing. And what I would do in that series of videos is each month I would read out a letter that was being sent to me from TV licensing regarding my unlicensed status of my address. And I would read out for anyone who watched the video the sort of threats and the stealthily way they insinuated that I needed to cooperate with them to get this matter sorted regarding me not holding a TV licence. Now, before I go any further, I quite legally do not hold a television licence. I simply don't watch live television or bother with the iPlayer, therefore I don't require one. However, television licensing used to insist every month that I contact them to confirm this. Needless to say, I never did. Now, they stopped writing to me in March of 2018. And the last I heard of them was they was asking would I be in on the 28th of March, which sort of insinuated that they was going to turn up on that date. I've not heard anything from them since. However, yesterday I returned home from work and lying on the mat, face down, was a rather ominous-looking brown envelope. And on closer inspection, I saw that the return address was Darlington, DL98 1AT, and I thought that can only be from my old friends over there at TV Licensing, and sure enough, it was. Now, who knows? Maybe the letter that I hold in front of me is going to confirm that they will turn up on the 28th of March. After all, they never said which 28th of March it would be that they would turn up on, did they? So, what I'm going to do for you in a moment, I'm going to change the format of how I used to do these videos just a little bit. In the previous volumes, which I'm going to continue with the numbering system, by the way, so this one will be volume 10. There's no point trying to go back and call them 1A and things like that. I'll just stick with the numbering system that I've always had. I used to just read out the letter. But what I'm going to do on this one, because my editing skills have advanced and evolved just a little bit, I'm going to put a scanned copy up for you. And what I will do then is I will minimise my screen and I'll be up in the top left hand corner probably, and I'll read it and you can read the letter along with me. So with a bit of luck that's worked now, so we can jump straight into this letter assuming that that has worked. So up in the top left hand corner we have where my address would normally be. I've removed that along with any other identifying numbers because there is little reference numbers on this which you'll see as you go through the letter. Over in the top right hand corner we've got the TV licensing logo. Beneath that in small print we have the TV licensing website, which I would advise nobody ever visits because it's been hacked a couple of times by all accounts. Then we've got your status, or rather my status, which is unlicensed. Beneath that, we've got the month and the year that this was sent out, which is February 2020. Then there's one of the reference numbers that I was telling you about. Again, I've removed the reference number. Then we get to an interesting part, because I've never seen this template of this letter before. And we've got your IN01O0A2. Whatever that is. To be honest, it sounds a bit like a nuclear launch code, doesn't it? If anybody out there's ever watched that film from 1983, starring Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy, called War Games, you'll probably know what I'm referencing to. And then the letter goes on to say, Dear Legal Occupier, an IN01O0A2 code has been issued against your address, and they've highlighted the code, to make it jump out that it's an important thing. We use it to target unlicensed homes like yours that require a visit from TV licensing enforcement officers. Required by whom? You have to ask the question, don't you? Then it says in bold, this letter is a formal notification that your details have now been passed on to our enforcement team, and you could be visited at any time, day or evening, weekdays or weekends. Now, there would be a name of the enforcement team there, like Cardiff, Manchester, Oldham, They all have different enforcement teams, as they're now calling them. I've removed that once again just to make it as people can't identify. We need to check you are not breaking the law. Note, they need to check regarding breaking the law. It's not. There's no onus on me to prove that I'm not breaking the law. It is a criminal offence to watch or record live TV programmes on any channel or device, or download or watch BBC programmes on iPlayer without being covered by a TV licence. Then we have in bold, you could face prosecution and financial penalties if enforcement officers find evidence of illegal TV viewing. You could be interviewed under caution in accordance with national criminal law, which could lead to prosecution. The maximum penalty is a criminal conviction, a £1,000 fine, plus any legal costs and or compensation you may be ordered to pay. To stop this visit from the enforcement team, buy a licence at, then there's a website that I can go and buy a licence at, or call, there's a telephone number. Payments start from £6 a week. See reverse for more details about your payment options. I'm not going to bother turning over because it'll just be pay here, and as I don't legally require a licence, there's no point reading it, is there? Or move an existing licence to your current address at, and they've got one for moving in case I've moved, or tell us you don't need one at, and then I've got another web address that I can go on and say that I don't need a TV licence. I'm not going to bother doing that, Hot Potters, because I'm not legally required to tell them that I don't need a TV licence. I don't need to get in touch with these people whatsoever if I don't want, and I'm not going to do so. And I encourage anyone watching this video who doesn't legally need a TV licence not to bother either. To stop this enforcement visit to your home and change the status of your IN010-0A2 code, you need to act now. Yours faithfully, Enforcement Manager. In Scotland, Scottish criminal law applies. A report will be sent to the Procurator Fiscal, who will decide on prosecution. Please do not write below this line. What happens if I write below that line? TV licensing, you'll never know, will you? Right then, I'll now go back on the big screen, and with a bit of luck, I'm now back on the big screen if my editing has gone correctly. As I say, my editing isn't all that great, but it has advanced just a little bit in 2 years. So what am I going to do regarding this rather ominous sounding nuclear launch code? Am I going to ring TV licensing up to get it lifted off my address? Don't be daft. I'm going to maintain radio silence, as I have been doing for about 6 years now in all the time that I've been legally licence free. So, it would appear, Hot Potters, that Mr H is back on what somebody once eloquently termed as TV licensing's shit list, and it appears that I'll be receiving threatograms each month for the foreseeable future. So, that was volume 10 of Letters from TV Licensing. Hopefully, you'll join me next month for volume 11. I will eventually get my dirty dozen, my first dirty dozen of these things. And like I say, it stopped at volume 9 2 years ago. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get off now, but I will leave you with a screenshot from that classic 1983 film, War Games, and some of you will get the joke. So, folks, until the next time, from myself, Mr H, as always, it is bye-bye for now.